Welcome to Two Fuse Wrestling. We got a fantasy booking edition. But first, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the page. If you too are pissed off that Cody Rhodes didn't go over Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, because that's what we're fantasy booking. We are fantasy booking the end of Roman's reign of terror. I'm feeling it. I'm pumped. I have the adrenaline in my soul. Why did WWE fuck on Cody Rhodes? He should have won at Mania. I feel like that's how you should have ended Roman Reigns' streak. We have two different takes on ending it at Mania, if it should have been Cody or not. I just want to say, for me, the reason I thought it should have been Cody was the aspect of I was watching with my dad, and Cody's doing moves that he's like, oh, I remember Dusty doing that.
Yeah.
And that's something I could have shared with him for the rest
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah.
And it's that, like, just that family, that tradition of wrestling. Also, I get Goldust, was a son too, but he wasn't like a superstar as Cody and Dusty were. And the fact that you might have father-son tandems in sports, but it's not like it was with Cody and Dusty, where it's like these guys are at the top of that profession.
Yeah.
And getting to share it with my dad, I would have remembered it forever. Like, oh, Cody ended Roman's streak at WrestleMania. Sharing that memory with my dad. It's going to be cool when Cody eventually wins, but it's not going to have that same appeal to me now that it wasn't at WrestleMania against the best heel WWE's had in years.
I thought Cody should have won too. I thought he was gonna win, but I just don't think that it's as bad as people are making it out to be. Because like I said before we started recording, people are still talking about it 2 weeks later, and I don't think that if Cody wins, people are still talking about the main event of WrestleMania 2 weeks later. So I think it could be saved. It depends on how they save it, but I did think Cody could have won or should have won and was gonna win.
That's why I want to get into your fantasy book ending of Roman Reigns' run, because you have fantasy booked the way that Cody will get it.
Yeah, I went with Cody. So, during that match, that was a great match, really epic match, and it built up that both guys are like, they're kicking out of everything. Cody does that, Roman does that. You had Solo get involved, he gets kicked out. You think, oh, here we go. And then, the bloodline interference, and Solo comes back out and steals it from Cody. We all know that. So my storyline would have centered around Cody mentioning, like, if it wasn't for the bloodline, I would have beat you. And being like, I know it, the fans know it, and even you know it. Like, hype up that he has Roman's number, and if it's not for the bloodline, he beats Roman for the title. So, with Backlash, you got Brock and Cody. I would have Cody beat Brock, and then have Roman's supposedly not going to be on Backlash, so have Cody come out and talk about, I beat Brock, whatever. Roman's got to stop running. He keeps running from me. And with Money in the Bank being overseas this year, they got to make it a huge show. So I'd start announcing matches. I would announce Riddle versus Solo for the show. I would announce Owens and Sammy versus the Usos 2 for that show. And then I would announce Cody and Roman 2 for the show. Throw in the Money in the Bank ladder matches. That's a big pay-per-view. So I'd open with the tag title match. Usos lose again, but then they get beat down by Owens and Zayn so bad that they're stretchered out and loaded in an ambulance. And then I do the same thing with Riddle and Solo. Riddle beats down Solo because Solo's like this street warrior, but Riddle's a legit fighter from the UFC, so he could legitimately and like believably beat down Solo. So let him beat him down or put him in some sort of crazy UFC submission where he gets hurt. Same thing, stretchered out, loaded in the ambulance. And every time you do that, show Paul Heyman and Roman's face, because their facial expressions are really good. And they would get over just with their faces the kind of what's happening, like, oh, we're losing our backup. And then when you come out for your main event, I would let the audio pick up Heyman hyping up Roman, like, you're my tribal chief, you beat him before tribal chief, all this stuff. I would have Roman keep going for early pinfalls, like he's trying to steal it, because he knows Cody's got his number. And then the same thing, like you get to your finish and Cody hits those 3 crossroads. And on that third one, I feel like the intensity and like the face of Cody as he knows this is it. And then ultimately you have Cody beat Roman. And I think that that gives Money in the Bank oversees a big match and a big moment. They're kind of pushing that as their next like big 4 pay-per-view. So I think you could use that to legitimize it as a big 4. And then I think you still save, like if Roman wants to go away for a while, if you wanted to do a trilogy at SummerSlam, you could lock him in Hell in a Cell if you wanted. So I think there's a lot coming off that, but I think that would help save Cody and kind of extend that bloodline feud too with all of them being taken out.
I do like that idea. It gives up to the fact that Roman will be losing because the bloodline is crumbling on that card. Everyone keeps having to leave the show because they got their ass beat.
Yeah.
Do you also have in that plan that Brock is with the bloodline as this 2-man power trip?
See, I thought that's always kind of been a dream team of mine. Is originally I thought 2 Paul Heyman guys would have been Punk and Brock. Like if you had the Best and the Beast, that would have been a cool team. But I mean, like a Roman Brock team would be incredible. You could do that down the road, I think. Like if you wanted to save that for SummerSlam and do Cody and I don't know, Orton or Edge or somebody like another big name against Brock and Roman, that's a big match.
For me, I kind of think that Cody isn't going to beat Roman ever, that they're just going to give him a belt, or maybe he takes it off Brock Lesnar one time. It's not going to be Roman. I think Triple H's plan is that the guy that will take it off Roman is going to be a WWE guy. I know that Cody is, but there's bad blood. He left.
He never should have smashed that throne.
Yeah. So to me, it's either Dominic or Braun Breaker that Triple H is leaning towards. And I went Dominic with the Money in the Bank briefcase. To me, it's just Seth Rollins Authority 5s, Seth Rollins J&J Security 5s. We could have weeks of just comedy gold with Dominic trying to cash in this briefcase, but I feel like he would handle that comedy moments a lot better than Theory did.
Yeah.
So that's going to make him a star more and more. And the way Dominic is such a heel right now, he works the crowd perfectly. If Roman's streak ends dirty like that to Dominic with the Money in the Bank briefcase and all the shit Dominic could talk week after week after week, being like, hey, I ended the 1,000 reign, whatever, and completely ignoring that he cheated to get it, would be hilarious. I also had the little caveat that maybe I know Judgment Day and Bloodline could feud. That would work for him having the briefcase. But I like the idea of Judgment Day staying around forever and just adding new members, people leaving. Maybe Main Event Jay is just tired of the Bloodline, and the Judgment Day convinces him, hey, stand down. And that catches Roman off guard. Dominic gets the quick pin. And Main Event Jay's with Judgment Day now.
You get emo Jay.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking, I love this idea of Dominic cashing in with Money in the Bank briefcase for the Heat. But your idea of Cody winning it at Money in the Bank. What if right when he wins it, we get Dominic with the briefcase sliding in? Dude, he would get such heat with that.
Well, that actually would work because of the storyline with Cody. He was like, they gave my father the belt and then they took it away. Like, oh, your new champion, Cody Rhodes. And as they're going to hand it to him, you get that Judgment Day music, and here comes Dominic. So it's like Cody wins it, but then he never got it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, never even touches it. Would
doesn't
be
get
awesome.
to hold it. Yeah.
And then
Dominic just, like the next night, Dominic's selling it like, oh, I just squashed Cody Rhodes. And
that could make up for Cody's WrestleMania moment, because then WrestleMania 40, Cody and Dominic just this huge fucking heel.
Yeah.
Cody this huge baby face.
Yeah.
And you could still do WrestleMania 40 with Roman and The Rock. Like, that doesn't need a title.
No. Yeah, Roman and Rock don't. And then if you're taking it to WrestleMania 40, let the Judgment Day keep cheating for Dominic and him just not acknowledge that they're cheating him. Just he straight up is like, I'm the best thing in the world.
Dude, I would just love it, and it is really cool that for the first time in it seems like a long time in wrestling, we have a heel that's playing a heel. He isn't
Yeah,
playing the smart crowds,
yeah, yeah. I'm really loving Dominic's work right now.
and he just matches up perfect with Cody. So whether Dominic takes it off Roman or Cody, I think Dominic has to win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so in the comments, let us know who you would have in Roman's Reign of Terror, or if you thought it should have been Cody at WrestleMania 39.